Oh, hi there! How nice of you to join me. In this video I will be talking about 10 really useless Windrose facts, or tips if you so will. The video is called More because I already made a video like this. You can find the link in the description below the video if you like. Not all of the tips are completely useless. Some of them can be useful for a small portion of the player base or throughout a small portion of the game. But I think all of them are really fun and interesting, even kind of more fun and interesting, at least a few of them, than the ones I did for the first video. Let's get started. Number 1. I think a good place to start this video is by explaining the thumbnail. So I was exploring Tortuga, trying to kind of find a way through the spooky wall there into the greater part of Tortuga, as you do. And I tried to swim my way through, wiggle my way through, didn't work. Eventually I started to try to build my way through. No luck there either, but what I discovered by doing that is that the invisible structure there was actually a structure, or more like see-through terrain. So it provided structural support. So naturally I started to build a staircase up along the wall to reach the top, because I thought maybe I can jump over the wall. Turns out there is an invisible lid and it covers the whole island. There are some, like the mountains, that stick up on top of that lid and you can walk on them, but you can't kind of dig under the lid either there, so that didn't work. I have still not found my way in. So if you know how to get into Tortuga, or if you have a theory on how to get in there that I haven't tried, just please post it in the description below the video, because I really want to get in there. Anyhow, because it actually provides structural support, what you can do is you can build your base at the very edge of that invisible wall with the ocean below, so it looks like it's floating in the air. You can remove the staircase, everything, just have it there, even have a bell to teleport up there. Back to the bell later. Yeah, and it looks like it's floating in the air. Obviously there's no gameplay value of that. It's just that if you want a really cool looking house in the sky, you can do that. Number 2. Now when you have built that nice looking little pirate house up in the sky, it might be time for some screenshots. I have already covered in a previous video that there is a key. It's forward dash on an English keyboard to kind of hide all of the interface, but your character is still in the screenshot and you might not want that. Now, there is a way where you can actually hide the character. So if you back up against something like a wall and then look upwards, the camera will jump in front of your character. But if you construct something on top of your character as well, for example, a leaning staircase, and you back up against that, the camera will jump in front even when you're looking straight ahead. So this is really useful for those clean screenshots without your character in them. So again, useless from a gameplay perspective, still kind of nice to know, right? Number 3. Now back to that bell, and I kind of covered this already in the first tip, but I wanted to clarify, because it turns out that you need to place the bell close to the coast, but that is only in kind of horizontal distance in relation to the coastline, not in vertical distance. You can place it at any height above the ocean as long as it's horizontally very close to the coastline. So that is useful for the type of building I did in the first tip of the video. And the same goes for your ship. You can stand at any height above the ocean as long as you're close to the coastline, and summon your ship and it will land in the water below. So only useful if you kind of want to do it from very high height. Number 4. I'm quite sure you have already seen guides pointing out that you can bypass kind of most of the traps and puzzles in points of interest by building stuff to help you out. And you can actually cheese mobs as well in fights by building half walls in front of you, because they can't jump them, if you're talking about melee mobs, or even trap mobs, like including ranged mobs mid-fight by placing structures on top of them. This sadly does not work in boss fights, so they close that loophole. You cannot build or dig in boss area. Number 5. Speaking about trolling NPCs, and this might actually be one of the more interesting points on this list. you can actually get NPCs to drown in water. Not all of them, but the ones you think would drown in water actually does, so like human NPCs. I tried with the crab-like creatures, they do not, so I don't think, even though I haven't tried, the drown will drown either, because I'm quite sure they will be just fine. But that means that if you dig deep enough to have the hole filled with water, where the creatures will spawn, or where the NPCs will spawn, they will spawn into the water and drown. Unfortunately, this works only close to the beach, because there is a limit for how deep you can dig in the game, and it's not very big. There's a limit how much you can raise the ground as well, by the way. Anyway, I discovered this because I wanted to get rid of some NPCs to build where I wanted to build a base, but they kept spawning, because not all locations actually, when you build a bonfire, not all on all locations the bonfire will actually prevent NPCs from spawning. So I was kind of experimenting with other ways to get them not to spawn, so I can build my base there without having like an angry pirate captain spawning in the kitchen. Anyway, so you dig there where they spawn, and they will spawn into the water and they will drown. Unfortunately, even though this had like the potential of being like a super neat way of farming resources passively while you were doing other stuff, it turns out it fits right on this list and is completely useless, because nothing actually happens in this game unless you look at it. So the NPCs will be just fine in the water until the second you walk close enough to them to spot them, then they will start drowning. So unless you actually want to stand there with your character, and then you won't really get any passive resource farm. By the way, in my first video with 10 useless, kind of useful Windrose facts, I have this segment in the middle with nice timestamps before it and after it that said commercial break, where I asked for likes for the video and subscription to the channel, because those things really help my channel grow and my videos getting more views. But unfortunately, because it said commercial breaks, I guess, everyone just skipped ahead. So this time we'll just skip that and move right on to the next tip. Number 6. We are pirates in this game, and pirates like money. And there's a way in multiplayer where you can manage to part with at least less of it when getting stuff for your character. Because in Tortuga there are a lot of merchants that sell stuff for silver and gold. And if you are in multiplayer and you buy something for your character with silver, like a recipe for new cannons for your ship, or new equipment or clothes for your character, and then you craft that, give that to your teammate or your friend, now they will be able to craft it. They don't have to buy the recipe themselves. Unfortunately, this does not work for recipe for building pieces, for example. The stuff you buy with gold. I haven't really found a way, at least, to make work for that. But for all the rest, all the stuff you buy with silver, that is some type of equipment that you can put in your inventory, it does work. And that will save you a lot of silver. Number 7. In Windrose, the game does not let you place different types of decorations outside of bonfire range. But what the game does not tell you is that the decorations you place when having the bonfire there will be 100% fine if you later remove the bonfire. So that is actually a really weird design decision. So there's no need for the bonfire to have the decorations there, you just need it there when you place them. So yeah, go ahead, do that and remove the bonfire. Number 8. Here are a few short ones, so short that I will actually count all of them as one single point, mostly because I wanted the video to be kind of 10 points long, because my first video was 10 points long and it's a nice round number. Anyway, a lot of guides probably told you that you can farm plant fiber by flattening the terrain with shovel, but did it tell you that you can actually farm wood as well by firing cannonballs at it from your ship? It's not very practical and not the most efficient way to get wood, but you can. You can also sail in the swamp with your little boat, so that's neat. You can hide the bonfire below ground. It's not that deep, so some smoke will still show up, even if it's below water actually, but you can, if you want to hide it. You can brute force fights by placing your respawn tent, because enemies do not get their health back when you die, so that's neat. And you can use pearls bullets. They're kind of on the level with iron, but it's kind of useless because it's a lot easier to get a lot of iron than to get a lot of pearls. Number 9. You can get a pet boar called Truffles in the game. There is an altar in the foothills region, the second biome of the game, where you make some sacrifices. Don't worry, the game will tell you exactly what to do when you get there. And you get a boar whistle, and if you use that boar whistle, Truffles show up. Roll dice, and then you can summon him again. Unfortunately, he's not really like the boar in Nordic mythology. That would have been cool. That boar they ate every night and then he just came back to life in the morning. That's how they all got enough food. Because you can't hurt Truffles. Not that I would ever have thought about hurting Truffles, of course. He can, however, die, like I mentioned, because he will defend you in fights. So he will pull aggro from mobs and actually defend you, and they can kill him, but he does not loot. Number 10. Did you know that you can actually fish from your ship while it is sailing? So if you are sailing full speed in some direction, just let go of the wheel, jump up on the railing, and cast out your float, and it will just seem to be disappearing behind the boat, but when it gets to a certain distance, it will just teleport closer to the boat again, so you will always be able to see when you are about to catch fish. And considering you have fish in the game and you have potatoes, I feel like there is one dish really missing from the game, because you can fish from your ship, but there is no fish and chips. Alright, that joke might have been so bad that I lost like half the viewers there. It would be interesting to see YouTube statistics afterwards, the retention curve for the video, like then this joke and dead video. Good thing I put it last. Huh? So that was all of the list. Hope you liked it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, helps me, helps the channel. Cheers!